You're planning to build an addition, subdivide property, or develop a commercial project. What rules apply? Can the city change those rules mid-process? And if you follow all the published standards, can they still deny your application? Utah's Land Use Development and Management Act, LUDMA, provides clear answers to these questions. LUDMA grants municipalities broad authority to establish development and design standards for their communities. Fence heights, building setbacks, lot coverage, parking requirements, and even some architectural details. These standards shape how communities grow and develop. But here's what's changed. Having the authority to set standards is fundamentally different from having discretion to deny applications that meet those standards. The foundation of Utah's development regulation system is transparency. Municipalities must clearly publish their development standards in adopted ordinances. And here's the critical rule: a municipality may not impose on a permit holder a requirement that is not expressed in the land use permit itself or in the documents on which that permit is based. No secret rules, no surprise conditions, no after-the-fact additions. This transparency requirement protects property owners from arbitrary treatment. Requirements must be in writing, publicly available, and adopted through proper procedures. If a standard isn't in the published ordinances or on the approved permit, the municipality cannot enforce it against your project. Utah law establishes what's called entitlement doctrine. Under Utah code, an applicant is entitled to approval of a land use application if the application conforms to two things: the municipality's land use map and all applicable land use ordinances. Entitled might not be approved or subject to negotiation. It means entitled. This represents a fundamental shift from discretionary review to ministerial approval. If your application meets all of the published requirements of the municipality shall approve it. Think of it like this. The municipality writes the rule book through its ordinances, but if you play by the rules of the book, you're entitled to move forward. Where do you find these published standards? Every municipality maintains land use ordinances covering zoning districts, permitted uses, and development standards. These should always be available online and at municipal offices. They tell you what zones exist, what's allowed in each zone, and what technical requirements apply. This is your rule book. Now, can a municipality ever deny an application that meets all the published standards? Yes, but only under two very narrow exceptions. The first one, if the land use authority formally finds on the record in writing that a compelling public interest, think direct threats to public safety. Second, if the municipality had formally initiated proceedings to amend its ordinances before your application was submitted. These are genuine exceptions, not loopholes, for avoiding the entitlement doctrine. One more critical point: approval isn't valid forever. Municipalities establish timelines, deadlines to pull a building permit or to begin construction, to ensure development occurs in a timely manner, and to prevent entitlements from being held indefinitely. These timelines vary based on the size of the municipality and are outlined in state code. The principle is consistent: use it within the specified timeline or the approval lapses. So here's what development and design standards mean in practice. Municipalities have broad authority to establish standards that shape their communities, protecting character, managing growth, ensuring public health and safety. But that authority must be exercised through clear, published rules applied consistently to all applicants. If you conform to the published requirements, you have approval. That's Utah law. If you have questions about development standards or believe you were treated unfairly in a land use application, contact the Utah Office Property Rights Ombudsman with your questions. This educational content was developed for the Land Use Academy of Utah.